Oh, I'm gonna
We're
jump on my
starting.
computer.
That's a fact. Your phone is a piece of shit.
Yep.
And we are live. Welcome back, everybody, to This Week in Bullshit. I am your host, Proper Jeremy, and today we have some very special guests. First off, we'd like to start off with my brother in the Senate, Kester. How you doing?
Oh, we're brothers now, huh? We're just cruising right along here, aren't we?
Yeah,
Hey,
just
everyone.
don't kill me.
Hey everyone, I'm back, from my usual hiatus, not being on the internet with crazy people. It's been really healthy. So, how's everyone doing?
Good. How are you?
Oh, maintaining my sanity as best I can.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And we also have the leader of the Fandom Zone, General Zod himself. General Zod, go ahead, do the long version. But if you just do the long version. just do it. Just make it quick. And now there's two of you.
Hello, everybody. This is General Zod, and pleasure to meet all of you guys. Thank you, Proper, for having me. And it feels like I have most of the people who would be in the Fandom Zone here. So awesome.
Cool. All right, that was the long version, huh?
Oh my god, he has no idea what you meant by the long version.
I'm
No, I was
thoroughly
switching
unimpressed.
devices, so you got cut out, so I just winged it.
Okay,
yeah.
fair enough. Well, we'll save that for the end. And we also have his lovely co-host, Pop Culture PB. What is up, Pop?
Not much. Lovely, you say. What a compliment.
Yes.
Co-host, I mean, it's more like I'm more of a director than a co-host. I gotta keep him on task because he gets distracted by I don't know, lightning bugs in the distance or something. He's a ridiculous villain.
That is totally not true. Oh, squirrel.
See?
Is there a reason you sound like Mr. Plinkett? I'm just curious.
It's my thing.
Okay. I was just kind of like, are we on with Mr. Plinkett right now? But then I was like, no, never mind. False alarm.
Maybe it might be secretly Mr. Plank.
No, I mean, as he talks more, you'll find out he's not that quick.
Not at all. No, and of
But
course,
yes, it's wonderful to be here on the I don't know, do you have a name for your channel, or is
Yeah.
it just Proper Jeremy?
it's Proper Jeremy. What else would it
Oh,
be?
wonderful. I don't know. Some people give a name to their channel, like the Fandom Zone.
Okay, I just have my name.
It's wonderful. I'm glad to be
Yay!
here to talk about all of the bullshit.
Absolutely, and we have our token Australian, Stevie J Reviews. Stevie, welcome back to the channel.
Thanks, Proper. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, Stevie J here from Stevie J Reviews. Got the old channel there with some movie reviews, trailer reactions, that sort of good stuff. Looking forward to chatting with all you good people again, and just let me know when you want me to be quiet in the corner as the oppressed Australian.
Be quiet.
Okay.
And go sit in the corner.
Just assume that's your default setting and just go with that.
Done.
All right. We're going to get this started here. First off, I'm going to acknowledge the chat, and I'm going to read some of what you lovely folks are saying at the moment. Thomas Gilkey is here saying, bam, first comment. What's up, Thomas? How you doing? Ryan Bush is here. I don't think I have seen you around before, so welcome to the channel. He says, first non-mod comment. Yeah, second comment, as I see. Unless I missed something in the earlier chats. Snowdub's here. He says, hashtag I stand with Jolly. So do I. Felix Haas is here. And he didn't win. He didn't win the first non-mod comment. Well, there's always next time, Felix. And welcome to the channel. I don't think I've seen you around before. If I have, that's my mistake. But either way, welcome to the channel. We did get a lot of new subscribers here, so I'm very excited about that. I'm very happy, and I welcome each and every single one of you here. Comrade,
as long as we only see your upper half, if you're going to be very excited.
Yeah, that level of excitability needs to stay above the belt, mister.
Yes,
Yes.
it shall. It shall. We're gonna keep this there's not gonna be any mooning, no sunning either. So
No X-rated content. I mean, I'm kind of half torn on whether that's a good or bad thing now.
well, you can. Huh?
Oh my God, I've rendered him speechless. It's finally happened, folks.
Oh.
You've witnessed it here, folks. First thing, I managed it.
I don't know what to say to that. I don't know if you're hitting on me or if or what's
You can't
going
see
on.
it right now, but I'm fist pumping my victory at rendering you completely unable to respond to this.
Fair enough, Kester. Fair enough. Comrade Commodore says, "Sup, Big J Dog." What's up, Comrade Commodore? Welcome back to the channel. Stone Cold Jeremy says, "What's up, everyone? What's up, Stone Cold Jeremy? How you doing, man?"
I'll give him a hell yeah.
Hell yeah! Curtis YZ is here. He says, "Hi, hi." He also says, "Nice. I like the name change, Zod." Zod, how long have you had that change?
Gosh, it feels like forever now.
Oh my
But
god.
I don't know. PB, this is why I hired you.
Yeah,
I
I don't know why. Go ahead, Stevie.
I was going to say, I love the assumption that you get paid, PB.
Yeah, the assumption that I get paid. Yeah, I don't. I get paid with headaches. He's had the name General Zod's Fandom Zone for a solid 16 hours.
But it's been General Zod for a solid
Couple months.
couple months now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sounds about right.
I went with General Zod's Fandom Zone because, as everyone knows, if you are on my channel, you're in the Fandom Zone and you're a part of the Fandom Zone. But as far as name goes, General Zod actually pulls up a surprising amount of people. So I wanted to differentiate myself from the pack.
Nice. It's very, very good to be different. You're very good at.
Oh,
that.
he's different.
Oh yes.
You son of a
Indeed.
bitch.
Is different the word we're using now?
Okay, fine. We'll use special. All
Oh
right.
man, that one's boring too.
Does that make you feel better, Kester? Would you prefer
Yeah,
special?
mildly.
Okay. All right. So Gabriel FSP, what's up, Gabe? How you doing? He says, "How you doing, sir?" I'm doing great, Gabe. How are you doing? He says, "I'm hopping off to work on a vid. I hope your stream goes well. Take care and God bless. Also, I made a mistake. I'm a 4-year-old YouTuber. I apologize for the mistake in my video. Take care." Oh, 4-year YouTuber. I said 4-year-old, didn't I?
Yeah, you did, man. Improper.
Well, okay. I thought he was pulling a fast one on me. I'm used to that. Very used to that. And Celebrity Jeremy is here. Drop by for a bit. Well, welcome, Celebrity Jeremy. Nice to see you again. Mary Mayhem says, "Gonna wrap it a couple minutes, guys, and I'll send everyone over." All right, thank you, Mary. Appreciate that. Didn't mean to overlap too much. I knew you were gonna go on for an hour, so I wanted to just make sure that we weren't conflicting too much. G's B says, "How's everyone doing today?" Everyone's doing just fine. I can't speak for everyone else on this panel, so how are you guys doing today?
Doing quite well.
Fucking fabulous.
I'm
Thank
fine.
you.
Zod must have kicked some child in the head today.
No, I'm actually spending time with a mythological unicorn.
There's a lot of Kester. I can
You
understand.
also
The
better
child
keep
kicking would have been a more interesting story.
Probably.
Yeah.
But
You
some
better
of it
keep your
is
camera
actually
off,
true.
Zod, if you're hanging out with that unicorn.
And
moving right along. Hey, GSB.
And the first story that I really want to get to is something that was covered by the Quartering, and something that I found very interesting was this Marvel Comics writer, Alyssa Wong, allegedly saying F Stan Lee. And the tweet that was alleged said, "F Stan Lee, so what if he's dead? He's still a racist thief and an appropriator of culture, just like the jerk Cebulski," which she has also called him a racist several times, and this has been proven. "If I ever work at Marvel, I'll tear down as much of Stan Lee's so-called legacy as possible. And of course, there's been some debate of whether or not this is an authentic tweet. I've heard conflicting stories on it, so I'm just going to say allegedly, if that's safe enough. I believe it is. But the question that I want to pass on to you guys is, if this were a white man saying this, and and by the way, this woman just got hired for Marvel not too long ago, I don't think, but she also said, she also said, she called, her Marvel editor-in-chief a racist. That was Cebulski, CB Cebulski. So if this were a white man and he said, and let me just, this is going to be my F-bomb for the day. What if anybody just who wants a job at Marvel says, fuck Stan Lee, fuck his so-called legacy? How do you think that would go down normally?
I would assume they would want to move that person on as quickly as possible.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it wouldn't have worked out. So now I'd like to pass that question up to you. Do you think that it would be different? You know, assuming the innocence of it. You know, innocent until proven guilty. These are alleged tweets. They have not been proven. Do you think the same rules would apply, giving Marvel's tendency to be woke per se? Do you think that is even a relevant thing to think, or is it just something that is just, you know, accurate based on what they I guess have done in the past, you know, few years? And I'll start out with Kester.
No, they would absolutely still hire her in any other scenario, regardless if this tweet was real or not. They would especially do it if this turned out to be real, which I will emphasize for the record that it's very much looking like this was not a real tweet. This whole thing looks very doctored, and for even to me, someone who knows very little about this stuff, I looked at that tweet and I was like, there's something really off about this screen capture. Like everything, like the shape of the words, like they look too pixelated or something like that. It didn't look like a screen grab of an authentic tweet. But regardless, under the assumption that this was a real thing she had said, they would absolutely still hire her without question, because the entire point of it would be the knee-jerk reaction to, oh, someone called us racist. Quick, we have to hire that person so we don't look racist. Oh, we were called sexist by a lady who wrote a blurb about women in refrigerators. Quick, we have to hire her as a writer on some of our books. They've had a history and tendency of doing this for a while now.
But if it's that same person, that doesn't seem right to me, who just says F the guy who just created all of this. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Look at what other established. Sorry, Pop, I'll give you a quick sec here, but
I was just going to say, right and woke don't mean the same thing.
Yeah.
And I just want to correct something. Stan Lee is the face of Marvel. He did a couple of their comics, but Steve Ditko and Kirby were most of the people who created the actual comic book characters. Stan Lee just happened to be a hell of a marketer.
Okay, all right, but technicalities aside, he is seen as, you know what, that's probably a better way of phrasing it, the face of Marvel. But to a lot of people, you know, who aren't as informed, this is just, he seems like the head honcho, like the big boss, and that's that. You know, so I'm just astonished that anybody would even consider hiring somebody who told the boss immediately before even being considered to go F themselves. Something's not lining up here.
Well, even then, like I was saying, consider all the Marvel pros in recent years who have gone on record saying shit about white men, saying shit about men in general. Disparaging one single guy, especially when he falls into both of the aforementioned categories, this is not something that's beyond their ability to do and get away with. Absolutely not. So it may seem like lunacy to us, because to us, we actually look at this and go, wait a minute, this is the guy, like Zod was saying, he's the face of the company. You wouldn't insult the face of the company that you're trying to supposedly get hired for, that you may want to be hired for, but yet here we are.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and also the second part, which I think is sometimes overlooked, saying that I'll tear down as much of his legacy as possible, so-called legacy.
Well, they've already done that at this point. I mean, shit.
Yeah, I
we're
just
getting there.
Proper. I wanted to chime in on something that Kester said.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, to your point, I see what you're saying about not going after Stan Lee. And, you know, he's got a very recognizable thing. People absolutely love him. But if we're talking about people being ballsy and not seeing it out of the realm of possibilities, what about George Lucas and people going after him and his, you know, they basically said what? They were going to respect his legacy. He's not 2 seconds out the door. They shit all over him. And I'm pretty sure, I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure there were comments floating around that they had said about, you know, George Lucas, right? And this is the guy who started Star Wars. So I don't put it past any of these fucking SJW blue-haired weirdos and the fucking cronies that work to get ballsy now in the culture that we live in and attack anyone. They have so much power for such a small minority.
Cronyism at its finest.
Yeah, exactly. And it's very telling too. Just to see how, like, seriously, if you have the correct political beliefs, if you happen to be the right race or gender, yeah, okay, yeah, you could tell the boss to go F themselves. That would be fantastic if I had that privilege, but I don't. You know, most places you get fired. So I'm a little surprised by that, but that's just my humble opinion. Stevie, we haven't heard from you yet. Feel free to share your thoughts or of anything that we discussed.
Yeah, so, I mean, obviously, the whole premise of it is just rubbish. I mean, if it's true, and yeah, I know you said it's alleged, and it looks like it may not be true, but if it was true, then she should be treated the same as what a man would be treated, which would be to be fired straight away, and to be run out of the place. Because, I mean, just take out the fact that you're talking about your employer or the place that you work. This whole thing of like cultural appropriation by Marvel, I mean, what are you even talking about? What are they even talking about? Wouldn't it be seen, I can't speak for other people, but wouldn't it be seen as celebrating or a way of getting a message out there even more for some of the minorities or whatever, or different 85 genders or whatever it is, to have some of these things in the movies and in the comic books? I mean, it seems like it's a bit much for me, because if they say we don't get a voice, we don't have a platform, and then someone like Marvel, or say in this example, let's use Stan Lee, puts those people or those cultures and all of that into his stories, or Marvel put them into their stories, wouldn't that be a celebration? But no, it's called appropriation, and it's a negative thing. It just, you can't have everything. You can't have your cake and eat it too.
Well,
Yeah, exactly. That's the perfect analogy.
First of
Hashtag
all,
end wokeness.
right, this entire story, whether it is true or fake, is bullshit. Which is why we're talking about it. And
Yeah,
secondly,
that's the point of the show. I'm glad that you were on the same page.
Stevie, I was told that there was 86 genders.
Yes,
really?
by Facebook.
I think you forgot
man.
one. You only said 85.
Well, I
Yes.
can't keep up, mate. It changes every 3 seconds.
It's
so I
tough
don't
to
really
keep
know.
up with this ridiculous shit.
That's
But
why you're a bigot.
Mhm.
Exactly.
So toxic.
Says I would say to Kester, says the lion that killed the black guy. Like,
What a racist fucking
Hey.
lion. And by the way, my favorite villain of all time. And that's
Right.
a high praise from Zod.
Right?
oh yeah,
Everyone's talking about the new live action remake. I'm like, screw you guys. This is my Scar. Hashtag not my Scar with that freaking photorealistic
He's the real
bullshit.
one.
Don't
all
get me started.
agree that movie's a piece of shit.
No, I didn't even go watch it. I was just like,
Good.
I'm not even gonna waste
Save
my
yourself
effort.
2.5 hours.
Good.
Don't waste your time. It is a piece of shit.
And it's
Have you
broken
seen
$1
it,
billion,
Stevie?
and my God, my faith in humanity is just dying a little bit more every day.
Oh yeah, that.
They're like, it
Why?
broke $1 billion in like 2 weeks, and it was like the original one didn't even break $1 billion in like 26 weeks. I'm like, I fucking hate
Inflation.
all of you. Like, just God,
And the original's still a 10 times fucking 100 times better movie.
at least.
Exactly.
Oh my
And
God!
can I just point something out?
No.
The 90s.
Oh, he's gonna do it anyways.
Yeah. Come on. This is nothing new.
You can't stop
You
Doc.
can do this. You can do this on your stream. You douche. No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Say your piece.
So the 90s, Lion King had a harder hill to climb because of the fact that no one takes in price of inflation and that the international market plays a lot bigger role nowadays than it does than it did like 10, 15, 20 years ago. So most of the money that was coming in because the actual domestic box office was at $325 million. Most of the bump that it had to just about $1 million was the foreign market. And you guys can look that up on Box Office Mojo. The numbers don't lie. Domestically, it dropped 69 to 70% in between these 2 past weeks, which means that the foreign market is picking up the slack for the slight drop in the box office numbers.
Yeah, because
Well,
Americans aren't
domestic
going to the movies as much.
Well, I think the other reason for it as well is that it's probably the Asian market that's really bumping it up because they like things that are dubbed, and that's what this is like.
Do they really? Like
Yeah.
I knew that like the Chinese market in particular loves their action flicks something fierce, but I wasn't aware that dubs in general were so favorable.
Well, I'm actually just joking, but it could be real because it's like when I watched it, I described it as like an old Chinese kung fu movie with Jackie Chan. And the lions' mouths are moving, but they don't really have any expression. So it's like it's dubbed.
Yeah, that's the whole big thing that I was watching the trailers, and I'm just like, I don't want to see this. This looks so lifeless and boring. Hell, look at the picture that I have on my freaking avatar right now. That has more expression in that one frame than the entirety of the trailer that I watched for this stupid movie.
So
And
it
the
seems
entire
like you've
movie
had
as
a
well.
lot of this bottled up.
Lion King, no. Lion King is my absolute favorite Disney movie, quite possibly easily in my top 3 favorite movies of all time. And for these little upstart shits to try to make some live action piece of shit that is inferior in every single way to the original, and yet it's still breaking box office records and people going, oh, it was really great to watch. No, the original was great to watch. You're watching the live action one and just replaying the original in your mind. Don't fucking deny it.
I will say that a member of my family, I had asked him, and it was his favorite movie too. Growing up as kids, he's a year older than me. We spent a lot of time together, and what was one thing that I could say is apparent about him is that he loves The Lion King. It is, I think I'd have to ask him, but it was one of his favorite movies too. And he said he absolutely loved it. He loved it, and he said the critics need to get their crap together.
Again, it's hindsight bias.
However, that being said, he, in his defense, he wanted to see the movie because of the nostalgia. He was honest about it, and that's why I think a lot of people went to go see it, because of the nostalgia and because of how they felt as a kid when we were watching it in our diapers, or if you were a little kid in the movie theater and you saw it on the big screen for the first time or on VHS. By the way, it is if I'm not mistaken, the highest grossing home video release ever, and for good reason. It's a damn good movie. but that's why people are gonna go see this. They
are seeing it.
They have
Well-
curiosity, morbid curiosity, and I can't blame him for that as long as he's being honest about it.
Well, for me, I
Well-
like to think that Disney has some kind of fucking voodoo magic because I talk to the people because I work at a theater and I see people coming in, coming out. I work with families a lot.
Yeah, he
And the
forces people to talk to him.
all the time. I'm a fucking villain. Anyways, I got my mind baffled today because Aladdin was a mixed bag. I got some honest, some people like it, some people don't, whatever. But it's like everyone's under a fucking spell for this movie because even adults who know the original Lion King probably fucking got a chance to see it in the movie theaters because, you know, I don't remember if I went or not. I was pretty young. But, you know, they like this film. And I can't for the life of me fucking figure out why. I've talked to numerous families and stuff, and these are the older generation who remember the original release, and they still like this. And this is the fucking problem. As long as people keep on seeing these fucking remakes, we're going to see 15 a fucking year come out constantly until they run out of their catalog.
Dude,
But
there's, go ahead, Stevie.
There's another reason why they're getting so much cash, and it's because of the children, because of the kids. So the kids see this come up on an ad on TV, know nothing about the old Lion King, and they go, "Mom, Dad, I want to go see that." So you got families, and it's summertime over there in the States, and other places around the world, and so it's the holidays. Everyone's going to go to take their kids to see the Lion King. Like, I'm a perfect example. I didn't actually even want to see it, but my kids said to me, "Dad, we want to go see it." So I went and saw it, and wanted to gouge my eyes out the whole time and my ears, because it
had Beyonce.
I mean,
Oh my God, no!
Okay,
I heard the bit between Beyonce and Donald Glover. It sounds fucking horrible. Okay.
the whole thing sounds horrible. It does sound horrible.
No. To me, the singing is fine. It's the voice acting that I could do without. But
Okay,
honestly, though, Beyonce sounded fine as Nala, just fine.
Yeah.
Was it great? But sounded kind of like.
But I don't want to hear Beyonce. I just want to see Beyonce. She's one of those people that when you're looking at like music videos on YouTube, you can watch all of them on mute.
All right, Stevie, what were you saying?
I was going to say what I had hoped for, because it was inevitable my kids were going to make me see this movie. So what I had hoped for was that they would take the complete audio track of the first original movie and build the new animation around that. So don't worry about recording anything new. So forget Beyonce, forget all the other new people. Just have the original audio recording as one track, and then build your animation of the new animals, whatever, around that. Because then at least I'm still going to get that audio experience. But when I sat there and started listening to it, I'm like, that's not that song that I remember. It's a shit attempt at it, but it's not the song I remember. And there was a whole lot of little pieces of dialogue that they left out as well, like little things for me and for someone who's a big fan like me of the original Lion King, like when they're in the elephant boneyard and Simba's laughing, graveyard.
The elephant graveyard.
Did I say that?
Yes,
elephant
you said
graveyard,
the boneyard.
Yeah. Oh, the graveyard, yeah. So when Simba's laughing, he says, "I laugh in the face of danger," ha 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 ha, and then the hyenas laugh in the background behind him.
Oh, yeah.
Even that little bit wasn't in it. And I'm no big Whoopi Goldberg fan, but she was good as the main hyena in that movie. So
Shenzai.
Yeah, Shenzai.
Shenzai,
So all of that stuff to me just made it feel like an absolute soulless shell of the original, and I wanted to gouge everything out of my face.
Yeah, and I can't believe I'm saying it, but well, I can actually. I miss Cheech. I miss him a lot. I like Keegan-Michael Key, and I love Eric Andre. I think they did great in the film. And I would even go honest to say Billy Eichner was great, but we did get really sidetracked. It's supposed to be this week in bullshit. This was a couple weeks ago.
It doesn't matter. It's still bullshit. It still counts.
It still is bullshit because
Yeah,
I
It
guess
will be
wasn't
bullshit
it this
forever.
Week?
Yeah.
Wait, was it this week that Lion King grossed $1 billion?
Yeah, basically.
That's correct.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
all right, it's fine. It's this week in bullshit. There we go. All right, it's
I would
fine.
like
you know what's total bullshit about this, Proper?
What?
Complete and total bullshit is that now you have this stupid thing that the regular fucking shows are staging this big battle between Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and Lion King. And they're going, oh, it's only number 2. And it's like, motherfucker, Quentin Tarantino's movie is R-rated. How many people are going to bring their kids to see a fucking Quentin Tarantino movie? Spoiler alert, fucking no one. So how the fuck are you running Quentin
Well,
Tarantino?
you must have had
What about my
very,
parents
very
would take
protective
me?
parents. I must say that Kill Bill, when I was 11 years old, was a great time at the movie theater. No, I'm kidding. I wasn't so young, and I didn't go see it in the theater. I don't think I've ever seen a Tarantino film in the theater, which is very unfortunate. I know. I'm making a mistake by not going to see this movie in the theater, and I shall do it. But it'll come with time.
I personally found Pulp Fiction at the tender age of 3 to be especially entertaining.
You saw it at 3 years old?
Especially
I caught the end. I caught the tail end of it that someone was watching.
Oh,
the
I was like, "Mommy,
tail
what's
end?
motherfucker mean?"
That's my
Really?
favorite.
The
My
tail
favorite-
end?
that was
that-
and that's
gimp
the
scene?
first time you dropped the
The
F
gimp
bomb.
Oh, not even close.
Mummy,
My-
what's a gimp ball?
My favorite memory was the first time that I saw that beginning scene in Pulp Fiction, and the dude kept on saying what, and he shoots him. He goes, "Motherfucker, say what again? Say what again?"
I dare you! I double dare you, motherfucker! Say one more goddamn time. What? What country you from? What? What ain't no country I never heard of? They speak English and what? English, motherfucker! Do you speak it? Oh man! Oh, this is so great! And everybody who's just joining us, welcome to this week in bullshit. Again, I am your host, Proper Jeremy. We have General Zod, Pop Culture PB, Stevie J Reviews, and Kester. Yeah. And we have a bunch of new people that have joined us in the last few minutes. Thank you so kindly. We have John Matrix is in the chat. He says, greetings. General Production says, how are you doing, man? Also, what is the topic tonight? Oh, there are several topics.
Bullshit. The topics are bullshit.
Oh, yes. It's this week
The
in
side order of crap.
absolute bullshit. We just went on a I think a 20-minute tirade on just bashing the new Lion King.
I'm not
Only
done.
20 minutes? Oh man, I'm getting rusty.
Oh yeah, with I think it broke $1 billion. So technically, it's okay to talk about it.
Why must you remind me of
It
this shit,
qualifies.
Jeremy?
What was that?
I said, why must you remind me of this shit, Jeremy?
Because you
God damn.
Meanwhile, pop culture's dogs are attacking and eating him, but carry on. Let's continue.
yes, let's shall. Riot Kitty is here. Says Mary has sent me and told me to lick you, Proper. Oh wait, I mean swamp. What? What?
I don't know which of those is better, actually.
You really want to lick a swamp?
Carrying on.
Yeah.
Yes. Rose
Can you
Ranch
read-
here. What is up? Huh? Yeah, we hear you.
Can you read the most recent comment from Riot Kitty? Because spot on the money.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Not getting Jeremy Irons to voice Scar was my resolve to not see The Lion King. Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Thank
They got
you
Absolutely.
so much for saying it.
Yes. Absolutely. Hi, Proper Jeremy and cast. I didn't cast them. They're guests.
I believe
They're
that might have
guests
been
of
an
honor.
attempt at my name, possibly.
Oh, I gotcha.
Wait, was it with a K or a C?
No, it was a C.
Oh, okay, never mind.
No, it's all good. That guy
Like, I'm
sounds
just
like
like,
Dane Cook.
I've had people try to spell my name and get it wrong somehow and spell it Castor, and I'm just like, really? How? How do you do that?
Oh, okay. But I think he means I think Adam Hewlett means just hey, proper Jeremy and everyone else is on the panel. Everyone else on the panel is General Zod, Pop Culture PB, Stevie J Reviews, and Kester. And Mark F is in the chat. What's up, Mark? How you doing? I've seen you around before. The Memes of Destruction says Hail Mary. Yes, full of grace. Biden Touch is here and says that guy sounds like Dane Cook. Which one? Me?
Scar, I think.
It's entirely possible it's me. I've been told I sound like Dane Cook, Brian Griffin, and Sheldon, among many, many others.
Sheldon?
Yes, Sheldon
Oh.
from Big Bang Theory.
Oh, I know. By the way, speaking of shows that had satisfying endings.
No.
Yes.
Lies.
No. What you don't think it was you didn't think it was a satisfying ending? The Big Bang Theory?
I hated that show in general, so no, there was nothing satisfying except burning it with fire.
Oh. Well, I just like your opinion, man. I mean, fair enough. If you never
thought it was
liked
a
it,
satisfying ending. I'm wearing my Big Bang Theory shirt right now.
You disgust me.
Kester, you're allowed to be wrong as always.
I'm allowed to be many things, and I will be so gladly.
And Wookiee Lives Matters, he had said earlier, proper and a bunch of heart emojis, and said Mary told me to do that. Well, thank you. Thank you, Wookiee Lives Matter. And Wookiee Lives do matter. And Butterfingers also says hello. And if there are any questions, by the way, go ahead and just at me. Just at Proper Jeremy, and my name will be, or just type it in the chat, and my name will be highlighted in orange, and then I'll be better able to read it. And especially if you really want me to say something or you want to ask the panel any questions, that would be great. And Biden Touch is here, and I'm very upset that he has not presented us the emoji that is my favorite emoji from any meme account. Have either you all, Zod, PB, and Stevie, you've all seen Biden Touch before?
Oh
We've
yeah.
had an army of Bidens.
There is an army of Bidens. Our next president.
I was wondering. Okay, I was curious if Biden Touch, if that's the Biden he was referring to. I was like, wait a minute, but okay, good, that clears that up.
Timon says that Kester is right about TBT.
Ha.
That's it.
Yeah, ha.
The Big
That's all I
Bang
need.
Theory.
There we go. Now, Kester, do you see the chat?
I was just getting into it.
Yeah, look at Biden Touches emoji.
I
Yep. He the first time I saw him, he had that emoji.
like it.
Oh gosh. Oh man.
All right, Jeremy, let's find your next topic and move along.
Yes, move along. We could talk about the Lion King all day long.
I could talk about it for a few hours, but I'll digress on that one.
Well, how about we talk about something a little gay, like Mario Lopez?
Oh, I'm
Wow,
really looking
that was
forward
a
to this
fucking
topic. This is going to be fun.
I'm sorry, just the name Mario Lopez, just it does sound like, like a gay stripper name, if you think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe at the gay bars you go to, Jeremy.
Yes, I've actually seen a stripper named Mario Lopez, and that's I was questioning what the motives, but yes. Anyway,
So you're assuming his sexual orientation?
no. Just after going to that place, it just seemed like, well, now I can't unsee it. I can't get that out of my head. But
I
anyway,
think not being able to unsee it is kind of the point, but okay.
Fair enough. But he is a huge supporter of the LGBT community, as he says in his apology after some certain statements that he made.
Oh yeah, the
he walked it
alphabet
back.
people.
Shut up.
The alphabet soup group.
Hey, don't make fun of my tribe. That I'm not especially.
Your tribe is
proud
full
of.
of weirdos and lunatics. I am so sorry for you.
Hey, to be fair, I'm not one of those weirdos. It took me a long time because I didn't agree with a lot of what people say.
Then guess
you know?
what, Proper? They're not your tribe anymore.
Probably not. It's better just to be a lone wolf. Or a lone bear, I guess. I don't know.
A very flamboyant fox.
Yes, maybe. Maybe a fox, maybe a hound. I don't know.
Are we
That's
going to
my
get back into
favorite.
Disney again? Because I'm not ready for that yet.
Yes, indeed. Let's get back to this. Yeah. Okay. So what happened was Mario Lopez was on Candace Owens' show, and for whatever reason, the topic of parenting came up, and he was facing a lot of backlash because he had made in a recent interview that suggested it was dangerous for parents of children as young as 3 years old to definitely label, definitively label their kids transgender. And
It is.
I don't think that that's unreasonable.
Sounds like common
whatsoever.
sense to me.
And the quote,
This
quote
is
that he said
bullshit.
was, yep, exactly.
And it's this week.
Yep, it is. It is this week, and it is bullshit. And give me 1 second, Mary. Here you go. Because I thought you didn't want to come on, but here we go. And now Kester will feel more comfortable.
Oh, are we getting Mary? Yay!
Yay! Yes,
Yeah, I thought
yes, we are.
She didn't want to come on either.
It was such a
'cause you
fucking
made that group
sausage fest in
to,
here. It's about damn time.
I know it's getting very.
you made that
deep in
group to
here.
send us the link, and then she left it immediately.
Yeah, Mary, what the hell?
I'm sorry, but you assumed my gender again. I'm actually a lamppost.
You can be an attack helicopter for all I care. It won't make a damn bit of difference because Mary's coming in.
Yes.
Yay!
Yes, indeed. But anyways, this is what Mario Lopez said on Candace Owens' show. He says, "Look, I'm never one to tell anyone how to parent their kids, obviously. And I think if you come from a place of love, you really can't go wrong. Yeah, absolutely. But you could also be Norman Bates's mom. Okay. But at the same time, my God, if you're 3 years old and you're saying you're feeling a certain way, or you think you're a boy or a girl or whatever the case may be, I just think it's dangerous as a parent to make that determination. Then, okay, well, then you're going to be a boy or a girl, whatever the case may be." He says, whatever the case may be, he's trying to be ambiguous, but failing miserably. And then he goes on to say, "It's sort of alarming. And my gosh, I just think about the repercussions later on."
Mary!
And which is a very, very reasonable thing to say, because it's just, you think about it this way. Think about the castratos and Italian culture in the 1800s. And what they used to do is they made eunuchs out of little boys who wanted to become singers so they could have lovely voices, but they still sounded like prepubescent boys.
Jeremy dropping random history facts here.
No, but like, it's just one of those things where it's just like, you want to become a good singer. Goodbye testes. No, that's not a good thing.
They're removing Jeremy's favorite parts. Don't do it.
Don't do it, please, you monster. No, seriously, like, it's just one of those things that you have to be careful about. That if you're really wanting to. If you're really wanting to do that, and it shouldn't be up to your decision as a parent, but to do it later on when they're 18 years old, I understand that completely. But it is a life-altering procedure. And he goes on to say, "I personally think it's just way too young to start making these. I know other parents who have certain parenting styles that I necessarily don't agree with, but I do know they're good people and they're coming from a good place." Fair enough. But then he goes on to say, he tries to backtrack and says, the comments I made were ignorant and insensitive, and I now have a deeper understanding of how hurtful they were. I have been and always will be an ardent supporter of the LGBTQ community, and I am going to use this opportunity to better educate myself. Moving forward, I will be more informed and thoughtful. Well, I think you were very informed and very thoughtful. Thank you very much, very much. I think your comments make perfect sense, and I want to pass the question off to everybody in the chat and everybody who is on the panel.
Hi, Mary.
Why did he apologize? Why? Come on.
Well,
What are your
he
thoughts in general?
He had nothing to apologize for, because
Thank you.
to me that's child abuse. I mean, I've got 3 kids, all boys, and when they were actually about that age, they see their mum getting dressed and they're like, oh, I'm going to put mum's shoes on. I'm going to, carry mum's handbag, whatever. It doesn't mean a damn thing. Like, it does not mean a damn thing. They
It's
get
natural
older.
childish curiosity.
Exactly. If there had have been any person that were around a lot, then they would be mimicking that person as well. It doesn't mean a goddamn thing, except that these parents are committing child abuse if they go through with these things. I mean, it's an absolute joke, and Mario Lopez should not have apologized at all for what he said.
I love the use of the accent there. That was really nice.
Thank you.
It
I
was
tried.
very good.
It's
Lovely
a
rolling
bunch
here.
of bullshit. I'm fucking tired of someone actually having a fucking backbone to tell these SJW fucking weirdos how they feel, and then they're like, oh, fuck, I just realized I'm in Hollywood and I want to have a job. Maybe I should scale this back. Fuck them. You know what? You get a lot more points, and people respect you a lot more if you say, hey, this is what I said. I don't apologize for it, and watch my fucking show, or don't. Someone in the world will, and you're going to get a lot more people, like I assume everyone here on the panel, who's going to be like, yeah, that dude made a lot of sense. Maybe I will tune in to Mario. But when you sit here and you make a good statement with good facts, and then you go, oh my God, I've offended someone's feelings, so now I better fucking scale it back. Fuck that shit.
Fair enough. And we also have the lovely Mary Mayhem with her pussy hat right here. I'm kidding. It's her. I'm kidding. It's her sick hat.
Mary's
It's her
betrayed
sick
us
hat.
all.
This is my
You've betrayed us. You've betrayed us all.
This is my sick hat. You know darn good and well it's my sick hat. It's what I wear when
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Mary, we love you very much. Tell the people what you got going on. Just feel free to introduce yourself to people who may not know who you are. Fat chance if they don't.
Oh yeah,
Not
well,
if you're here.
you never know. Hi guys, I'm Mary B, and I am sick, and so normally I sound different. Normally I sound like a person, not a scratching pad, but yes, I'm here nonetheless. So yeah, my voice is a little shot after 3 days of coughing. But you can find me over on my channel, Mary Mayhem, where we just finished a live stream and we ran a little bit over you proper, and I'm sorry.
Oh no, don't be. I just
Stealing
thought that
Jeremy's
you weren't
thunder.
going to. I thought you weren't going to join at all. So that's what I was a little confused about.
Oh no, I thought we talked earlier and you were like, well, hey, let's talk about that one thing. And I was like, yeah, man, put me a link and I'll do Cameo or whatever.
Oh, okay. So you don't want to actually stay. All right. I understand. I see how it is.
Oh,
Are you listening to her? The poor woman can barely talk.
Right?
Fair enough. Yeah. Fair enough. That's a good one.
Improper.
What a slave driver over here.
Jesus.
Oh,
And I thought I
fine.
was the villain.
Improper.
That was very improper of me, Mary.
You're forgiven. It's fine. No, I'm all right. Like most of this is just from coughing for days, so I feel better today, really.
That's good.
So
Well, anyways, I wanted to get, if I may, and thank you for joining us, Mary. I greatly appreciate that so much. And yeah, I just wanted to know what everyone's opinions were about this whole Mario Lopez thing. So, Zod, you stated your thoughts.
can I take a weird angle at it? Can I take a weird angle?
By all means.
Absolutely.
We're gonna wind up at the same place, okay? We're gonna wind up at the same place, but follow me here for a second. I think that it is important people to be allowed to have their opinions, right? Like their opinions are allowed. And I'm not making commentary on the transgender thing, because the truth of the matter is I am not informed enough to make commentary on that. But what I will make commentary on, because I am informed enough on this, is to say that an opinion is something that you have a right to. Here in America especially, you have a right to that opinion. And for someone to tell you, or for someone to make you feel like you have to backtrack just to appease people, as opposed to just being able to have your opinion, is ridiculous. And it is a terrible indication of the direction that this country is headed in, because it concerns me. People are allowed to have opinions, and getting crucified to the wall over it is ridiculous. Let's just agree to disagree. That is how you have peace. That is how you have harmony. And so for someone to have wrong think, that's 1984 stuff right there. I'm just saying. Where's my tinfoil hat?
I'm still wearing mine. I don't think I ever took it off.
Yeah. Time to
You
wear
have
the
two hats now.
It's fine.
It's for
I
extra
will-
protection.
I will say this. I agree with Mary overall in terms of having the right to an opinion and the fact that he shouldn't have to backtrack it. I will also add to that the fact that I am not very well informed on the issue of transgenderism in general. I've done a little bit of reading into it. There's still a lot of it that escapes me. But I will say this in terms of what Mario was getting to. The core issue that he was talking about is basically that 3 years old is too young to be making those decisions, and especially when it's coming from a child. Especially when you consider, guess what how most adults even aren't allowed to do until they're 21. They're not allowed to drink alcohol. You now have to be, I believe they've upped it to 21 to buy cigarettes. You're basically,
they have.
you're
And I was
basically
very
never,
surprised about that.
yeah, they basically made it to where you're never supposed to do cocaine or any of the
Whoops.
other hardcore drugs. My point being that if you wouldn't let a teenager, if you would not let a 14-year-old girl get a tramp stamp tattoo on her body, why the hell would you let someone as young as 3, 4, I don't care, even just someone on the cusp of puberty, why in the hell would you let them have the kind of decision-making power over their own body that would require hormone treatments and freaking gender reassignment and surgeries and everything else that it entails? If you will allow them to have that much power over their own bodies at such a young age, when they have no idea what they're even talking about half the time, then you have no reason to criticize them on any of the other things that they would want to do. And you might as well not even be parenting them at that point. You might as well just let them run wild, because at that point, they can do whatever the hell they want, and fuck your opinion as a parent, because you've given up any right and say so in the matter.
And Kester, like Stevie here on the panel, I'm a parent myself, and let's take this in reverse to something that's like, say, let's not say like this drastic. What about those fucking pageants, right? Where the parents, they dress these kids up, they doll them up. I find that just as appalling. Where they have the kids all in makeup and in these dresses and performing, and the schedules and the shit that they have them doing. I mean, it's no different. So, I mean, any of these trends where they're taking these little kids and they're essentially thrusting them into grown-up roles. It's like, let a kid be a fucking kid. Let them play and, eat dirt and all the shit, that crazy shit that kids do. Why is it that these people are forcing these agendas, and it's getting younger and younger and younger? And it's the problem we have in films and everything else, because the agendas are in movies, they're in everything, and it's a societal think that it's fucking K to force these views and opinions. It's one thing if you have an issue, like let's say you have a kid who's younger and starts to realize maybe they're not into the opposite sex, and it's one of those talks. That's a totally different thing. But when you're talking about physically altering your body and your mind as a child, when your body and mind is still developing, you are physically putting yourself, or your child is putting themselves in danger, and you as a parent are fucking putting your child in danger by doing those. If they want to do treatments when they're like a teenager, that's fine because, you know, they're a teenager. They're getting to that point.
No,
But when
But
you're
it's
talking,
not
even if
fine. You
no,
can't do
but
these
even
treatments before
hold
you're
on,
fully developed.
hold on. Yeah, even then, your body is still developing. Your mind is still developing. Apparently, you know, I've heard things that, you know, people aren't really, their brains are fully developed until they're like 25 years old or something like that. You know, you need time to actually become a person before you try to alter the person that you are.
Last
You know,
I
you
heard.
have to,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah,
Finish it.
yeah. I mean, that's just, I mean, I guess it depends on the person. If they're entirely confident and they are consistent about it and they say it their entire life, fine. When you're 18, all right, cool. You know, it's just like any other kind of kid that I would say, you know, once you're an adult, you know, you're out of the house, you're on your own. You go to college, you get a job, you can get a sex change, chop off that dick, whatever you want to do, that's fine. I will love you no matter what, but you're not coming back in my house.
Ask a
Well,
question.
And
Hold on.
as it's like, you know, we will always welcome you here, you know, obviously, but you know, it's just one of the, I'm not a parent myself. This is what my parents have told me, you know, that they'll love me no matter what, and that, you know, I'm always welcome, but in the end of the day, you know, me wanting my independence my whole life, they just want me to not be reliant on somebody their entire life. So that's what every child should be, honestly. And, you know, well, almost, you know, every child, some, you know, depending on the circumstances, of course. But Mary, what were you saying?
I was gonna say, let me ask a question here. When is the last time that you met a teenager who had any clue about who or what they were?
I don't really talk to teenagers anymore. So
Okay,
maybe
I do all the time. They're idiots.
preach it. Preach
all right.
it.
I'll tell you the last
morons.
time that I talked to a teenager that wasn't my brother was
It was kind of a rhetorical question because the answer is never. Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Never met a teenager that had a good grip on who or what they were because they're a teenager. And no offense, city teenagers in the audience, but you're stupid. So here's the thing.
Don't insult the audience, Mary.
No offense, but you're a
I
dumbass.
just got
Continuing
past
on.
1,000, and now there could be
Hold on,
13 people
Let her
who are
qualify.
just
Let her
like you.
qualify.
I do
Let her
not have the
qualify.
voice to argue with you right now. So
Oh, I'm sorry.
Let her
I keep
qualify.
here's the
Yeah.
thing. Teenagers do not have a grip on themselves or the reality that is around them because their brain is not done fully forming. Okay. It's not even fully developed at that point. There's a reason teenagers are not equipped to go out and get jobs and support themselves and handle their business because they do not have the tools they need. They are not fully developed yet. So allowing a teenager to make a decision like this about their life that they can't take back, you don't get to fix this, is silly. And in my opinion, it is child abuse. Okay. Not because I know I'm not speaking in terms of trans. I don't. I'm not fully.
Yeah,
informed
I get
on
you.
trans,
Yeah.
but here's what I do know. I know you can't take it back, not completely. You could be reverted, but you'll never work right. Okay, you'll never function correctly again. So I know enough to know that teenagers are not equipped to make a decision like this, and putting a decision like that in a teenager's hands is tantamount to abuse in my mind.
Yeah,
And
agree.
before we go on any further on this topic, I got to acknowledge some of the chats here, the ones that are highlighted, especially. Timon says, Timon Flip, I think that's how you pronounce your name, says it's 2019. Common sense is offensive. Yeah, that sums up
unfortunately.
this entire thing. Yeah.
Fact.
Yep. Riot Kitty says, I thought I was a boy because I played with all the boys and the toys they had at school. That is a child's logic, and taking advantage of that does no one good. Yeah, especially the child, because they're the ones who are going to suffer because of your idiotic decisions as a parent, I guess. And then Generation Production says, proper Jeremy, is the new Lion King really that bad? LOL, at least it's not cats. I've yet to see that trailer.
Oh my God.
But I really don't want to get on that tangent again. So I'm gonna go past that. I'm sorry. You know, we did talk so much about that. So I'm gonna move on. Otherwise, I would go on about it all day. Totally fine. Why did Mario Lopez apologize, proper Jeremy? He's extremely easy to blacklist and fire. Yeah, he could be. I think everybody is disposable at some point. Just because you're AC Slater, just because you were relevant in the 90s, you know, and you have a good job now, and you got lucky.
Well, I mean, he's not entirely disposable. He checks one box.
Yeah.
Well, but even then, I mean, look at Scarlett Johansson. Doesn't she identify as bisexual? And look at all the shit she's been put through. She may not have been driven to irrelevance, but she certainly hasn't been given a pass via her one check. I guess two if you just count the fact she's a woman. But
I mean,
given her
General Zod told me that Scarlett Johansson is trans.
You son of a bitch. Okay, I'm going to be apologizing for that mistake for weeks. It was
You
a good
said,
joke.
wait,
You
you said that
motherfuckers.
Scarlett Johansson was trans.
That
What?
was great.
If that was the case, then hot damn, give me the number of her surgeon, because that guy does
Exactly.
amazing work. Holy
That's
shit.
what I said.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, and Generation Production says, okay, say what now? Are we talking about kids needing to select a gender? No, not necessarily. No, we were talking about Mario Lopez's comments on it, but no, I don't think kids. Yeah, they
Kids, there are kids out there that want to be fire trucks when they grow up. They don't have the agency to make this kind of decision whatsoever.
Thank you. I couldn't agree more. I mean, you know, people want to be hippos, you know, because they're a little chubby. You know, they play pretend. They want to be Jedi when they grow up. They want to.
When I was a little girl, I was a princess. I need to know where my tiara and my scepter is at, because I was convinced of that. Where is my country to rule? Okay,
this is my truth. Damn it,
my truth. I've always had.
I want to say I was very offended. I was not a hippo. Thank you very much.
You're what?
Right.
I was not a hippo.
You're not a hippo.
Oh no, I'm not.
Anyway, Stevie, what were you trying to say?
Cracked me up.
I was just gonna give a real life example. I can't remember who said it on the panel just before, but it was about agency for these children.
That would be me.
That was you. Well, I thought it was someone brilliant. So what happened here in Australia was this blue-haired piece of crap came out and said, and she was actually part of one of those bullshit programs, you know, head of feminism in masculinity, toxicity, whatever fucking programs. Anyway,
that's a thing.
She basically
in Australia.
She basically came out. Actually, not basically. She literally came out and said that parents should be asking their babies if they can change their nappies. They need to ask for permission.
Oh my God, I remember that.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so
yeah.
As a parent of 3 kids, mostly, you know, still young, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? You want me to leave my crying baby there, getting nappy rash, getting a red raw ass, because I'm supposed to ask permission? The baby communicates by crying so that I can change its fucking nappy. The fuck are you talking about?
The non-verbal language common to their kind.
Exactly.
How are they supposed to answer you?
Exactly.
Well,
sign language.
Mary here asking the hard-hitting questions that the people on Twitter aren't asking.
Well, this is the thing. That's what everybody came out and said. Well, hang on a minute. well, how do we know? And
You're
it's
kind of
like,
a fucking
you could,
lunatic.
yeah, you could ask all you want, but the only response you'll get is probably crying. So if your crying's yes for everything. Awesome.
I just had a terrible thought. It's like these people expect the baby to like pull out a sign like from a Looney Tunes cartoon and say JJ.
Yeah. Or I give consent. I give consent.
Fill out the fucking consent form every time they have to change the diaper. Like, signature here, please. Thank you.
It's like she was thinking that every baby was Big Boss Baby. You know, like walk around with a briefcase or something. Hey, get me a spicy tuna roll. Fucking these people.
God, because I remember there was also the whole thing where it was like, gender assignment at birth is child abuse. You should wait until your kids are older. Like the gender reveal parties where like, the parents were.
What do you mean? I didn't assign the gender. Nature did.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't do shit. Mother Nature's over here making these decisions. I'm just sitting here, just going along for the ride.
Don't bring that common sense in here.
Yay.
Right. I feel like they're confused. It's not assigning gender. It's acknowledging gender.
Exactly.
True.
We're not supposed to do that.
No, we can't acknowledge biological fact on this planet anymore. That's not allowed.
As a wise man once said, yes, I think it was. Let me just go back and confirm. Somebody says, "Oh yeah, common sense. Yeah, that's offensive." Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was Timon. Yep, it's 2019. Common sense is offensive. Yes, it all comes full circle again. Yes, absolutely. And speaking of Timon. Timon Flip, he says, the bigger problem is that because of political correctness, research institutes can't even study if the affirmation of transgender kids is factual or not. If it's factual, I can't even believe that, because we have to think about people's feelings first, which is, I get it. You don't want to be a dick to someone.
It's pretty straightforward to me.
But, yeah, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Sometimes if a little boy is just wearing a dress, I don't know, maybe they're just gay. They're not a girl.
Well, sure, my little brother.
Maybe they're just gay. Like, and who cares?
Maybe it's
What
just
happened to the good
comfortable.
old days when they liked just being gay? Now they got to be assigned different fucking genders and remember a whole fucking
Yes,
alphabet.
you're so gay. Like, you're so gay that you're a girl. Like, what the?
Your gayness transcended gender.
But like,
where are the Liberace's of the world? Damn.
Like Mary was saying before. Like teenagers don't know what they want, right? So
No,
as a parent, your job is not to do whatever your kids say they want to do at that time. Your job is to guide them until they're at an age where they can decide. So it's not to say to your kids, shut up, you're not gay or you're not trans or whatever. It's to guide them through and talk to them about it until they're at an age where they can actually decide properly.
Make the informed decision.
Exactly. It's not to just go, oh, hang on, this week, oh, you're trans? Okay, let's go to the doctors. Let's get the scalpel out. That's not your job as a parent.
Pills.
Yeah.
There's a couple ones that I want to, a couple comments I want to read from the chat. What is up, Perminded? What's up?
Just real quick, I wanted to add, Stevie reminded me of the point Mary made about teenagers. I wanted to remind everyone, bear in mind, teenagers, what is their general preoccupation when it comes to their social life? Being
trying
popular.
to get laid.
Yeah, well, that kind of goes into the being popular thing in some cases.
Sure.
But yeah, popularity. General acceptance among their peers. That's one of if we all went through this. We all went through it to varying degrees. Teenagers want acceptance above all else from the people they consider the cool kids, the populars, whatever, the top of the food chain. So again, to just add to that fact that when Mary is saying that teenagers are stupid, teenagers in the audience who may be watching this, that's part of why. You let this need for popularity and acceptance define you in so many ways and for so many years that it affects your judgment in ways that you don't even realize until you're at least 10 years older and you look back on your life and you realize, wow, I was a stupid little shit.
Yeah, dude, adults gave up on that crap years ago. Like,
Yeah.
we realized a
Yeah,
lot.
like who are the adults thinking this? Which is, it's just, it blows my mind. You know, I want to say that I'm as mature as I can be right now, but even I understand
Which
that
isn't
I'm
very
just,
mature for you, but go on.
well, hold on, for all intents and purposes, you know, I graduated college not too long ago, you know, and just 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I was focused on like, oh yeah, I just turned 21. Just I'm gonna get drunk, you
God,
know,
I
and just
forget how
have a good
young you are.
time. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
just
you
a young pup.
youngster. You youngin.
Yeah, but in general, you know, I guess it kind of builds on your point. Like I'm focused on, you know, getting laid. You know, it's just simple stuff. You know, if you want to bring in the complex shit, you know, I wasn't even considering. I wasn't even considering guys because, you know, it for whatever reason. It's personal. I'm not going to go into it. But
He was a late
there's
bloomer.
still, yes, thank you. There are people who you know, think that they know who they are, but they don't, because they don't understand life in general. They don't understand how things work, and even in college, that's apparent. And these institutions want to just tell you immediately, like, what you should be or how you should act, how your vernacular should be, and not to offend people. And I understand I'm being a complete asshole, but come on, like, it's gotten to a point where
Wait,
we've
I
when
gone
will
did you
so
remind.
stop being a
far.
complete asshole?
Yeah, exactly. Like
I will.
sometimes jokes are just jokes, and
I
that's it.
I will add to what Jeremy is saying by reminding everyone here that not too long ago, the biggest preoccupation with teenagers was eating Tide Pods. So when
No,
it comes to the agency of teenagers and their bodies, I'm inclined to say, no, you don't get to make any fucking decisions. Sit down and shut the hell up.
Yes, I agree 100%. Mary, do you disagree on this?
no, I think it's 110% correct. Look, he's right. We've got these ridiculous challenges floating around right now where children, and I'm sorry, I know that there's a difference between a child and a teenager, but you're still a child, right? Where these children are doing these ridiculous things that harm themselves, as children are prone to do, which is why parents are so incredibly important. And so our job, it's one of the reasons why these, I'm sorry, I'm going to get old school on everybody real quick. Do you remember back in the day where children sat down, shut up, and did what their parents told them to do? Does anybody else remember
God,
that?
glorious days.
Sounds like
Not
my
a
child.
single
Sounds like my
moment.
childhood.
Well,
Yep.
there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that, and it was
No,
because
I was joking. I was joking, but
You were choking.
no,
Oh
but
shit, are you alright?
I was, yeah, but I mean, I know I was difficult to deal with as a kid, but like honestly though, you know, when push came to shove, you know, when I realized that I had done something wrong, I admitted it.
And it
There
burned
we
like
go.
acid in your throat the whole time, didn't it?
Sometimes,
That's that
and
young
admitting
pride
that,
thing.
yeah,
so
admitting that I was wrong ultimately. Yeah, as a stubborn child as I was, absolutely.
well, that's part of the problem is that children make these mistakes. They do what children do, and they're stubborn because they don't know what they don't know, right? So I didn't get off onto the saying, remember when kids used to sit down, shut up, and do what their parents told them, because I was reliving the good old days. I was coming to that for a reason, right? I was coming to a point. And that is
Mhm.
that it was important for children to listen to their parents because parents were the reason that they survived. Now we have a world that is nerfed and allows children to be a little bit more safe, a little, you know, they're a little safer these days, and they're still looking for ways to kill themselves. But because the world's a little bit safer in developed countries, like people don't seem to realize that kids are trying to get themselves killed. It is what they're best at, is trying to murder themselves. So why is it that we're taking the power out of the hands of parents who are there to prevent children from killing themselves until they're old enough to know better. And we're saying, oh, you don't know well enough. The kid knows well enough. The kid's going to eat a Tide Pod and die. Are you stupid?
Yeah, like I remember specifically, I ate one too many M&Ms, and my grandpa was saying like, "Oh, your stomach is gonna hurt, kid." And of course, not too long afterwards, I said, "Grandpa, my tummy hurts," and he said, "I told you, and what? You didn't listen."
Well, and to add to, oh, go ahead, Mary.
No. It's just kids don't listen because they don't know to listen. And when you don't tell them that they have to listen, then they don't listen, because why should they?
Well, and it's like I was going to say, it's an interesting sort of catch-22 because, like Mary said, comparatively to 30, 40, hell, even arguably in some ways 20 years ago, we've gotten safer in a lot of ways in terms of being able to track where your kids are most times of the day. The invention of the cell phone revolutionized just the basic ability to figure out where your kid is at like 7 o'clock at night when they need to come home and eat dinner. It's like you call them up and it's just, hey, get your ass back. Before it was get back before dark. But to that same end, for all that kids are more sheltered nowadays, you then also have the bizarrely paradoxical comparison that they're also exposed to a lot more mature stuff as a result of the internet. I mean, porn. I mean, my God, the simple accessibility of porn has effectively changed the landscape that kids grow up in terms of exploring their sexuality in some ways, and for better and for worse, unfortunately. But it's an interesting problem that has so many different sides to it. It's one of those things that's impossible to reconcile. But it's just still interesting to think about when you're just like, oh, kids today are so much better off. It's like, are they though? Are they really? Because now they're kind of almost being forced to grow up faster in response to all this stimuli they're getting that most of us probably didn't get until we were at least into our teens. So,
well, they need to grow up
no,
faster so they don't have to worry about their parents turning them into a different gender.
Yeah, that too.
I'd also like to say too that we should, in fact, not bring porn into this. It has helped many of us through the years.
Oh no!
Especially when you pay for it, right, Zod?
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm not throwing stones in my glass house over here. Believe me, I can't afford to clean up that. I'm just pointing out in general.
Yeah, I think we totally got that. And one thing that I will add to that is I wasn't entirely in that whole I was still wary. I grew up in a more conservative household of like, if you downloaded something or watched porn, then your computer would be dead. It would get a virus, and then the whole family is screwed. But so as a result, I still had to hold on. I still had to, like the old days, had to go dumpster diving for porno mags. And
yes.
Really, you didn't just pilfer your dad's stash like the rest of us? I mean, come on.
I didn't see any. Well, I saw some. I'm not going to get into that.
Shit, I stumbled across his stash by accident, and it was just like, hello, motherload here.
The only thing that I'll say about my father and the porn stuff is that I found a blow-up doll in the crawl space. And not knowing exactly.
You found something better than the magazine.
you found the training manual.
Not if you want a used product, but then
I don't want to share a doll with my father.
Yeah, it sounds very appealing, but
that's like 3 therapy sessions right there, just rolled up into one.
Exactly.
Or was it one of those like CPR dummies? I hope you didn't give it mouth to mouth.
Oh Jesus.
Oh no! I didn't go into that really. I thought it was a balloon animal.
Dare I ask what color it was? Just out of curiosity on that one.
That's exciting.
No.
dad's hiding a secret.
Moving on. Moving on. I'm gonna
it
read.
was a
couple
black
more.
doll.
I'm reading the chat now.
I know.
Said,
I regret
with the
nothing.
with the advent of the internet, humanity is becoming more stupid, flat earthers, and biology deniers. What's next? Oh my goodness! What is next, guys? I'll get that. Just a second. What is next? I'm actually going to highlight that and save that as a topic for what we're going to talk about right next. We can be creative here. By the way, Puerto Rican Jeremy seems to love you, Kester, even though you just muted yourself. He said, now, the point is establishing philosophy over facts in entertainment, education, and law. It comes from the school of cultural Marxism, and they call this their quote-unquote long march through the institutions propaganda. Interesting. Maybe that's a question for Kester. He probably will get it a lot more than me. Dio Brando says, also, I hate a lot of these freaking parents explaining their kids, explaining their, did you mean exploiting their kids for attention? Yep. I think that's what you meant. Exploiting their kids for attention. I feel like they're going to give the kid a sex change the day they're born in the hospital. Oh, Kester said, I'm 30. Proper is a hale and hearty mid-20-some. Thank you for bringing that out. Ryan Kennel, RK Outpost. I haven't seen you here before, so thank you and welcome to the chat. He says, admitting that you were wrong and admitting you need help are two of the most important things for anyone to do. What are your thoughts on that? If there are any that are contradictory to it. That's what I thought. And then we have Proper Jeremy is becoming I'm Proper Jeremy again. I don't know what that means, Generation Productions. I'm not quite sure what to make of that. But yeah, is there anything else that you wanted to add on this topic? We had a great flow going for a while.
I got nothing.
All right, I'll continue reading some of the chat. Right, Kitty says, I believe someone compared changing diapers to child abuse because they cannot consent.
But that's
what?
Insane. That's insane. The child abuse is allowing a child to lay there and get horrible wounds. And that's what happens when you don't change a child's diaper, by the way, people. I don't know if you're aware of this, if you've ever seen a child with diaper rash. That's a child with diaper rash is what happens when, one of a few things happens. Either you don't change the diaper regularly and you're not a good parent, or you have a child with sensitive skin and it just happens regularly. But imagine not changing a child's diaper, not only not regularly, but like not at all, because it can't give you consent. Death is inevitable. That's what I'm like. That is the point that your child will arrive at, because their wounds will become infected and children don't have immune systems that are equipped to battle those kinds of things off. You have to change a child's diaper. Like, why? I feel like I'm in crazy land. I feel like I'm in crazy land right now that anyone should have to explain that.
Yep, absolutely. It's ridiculous. Bloody ridiculous. I mean, for those that don't have kids, I mean, yeah, like Mary said, it's pretty bad. I mean, just imagine it yourself. Imagine taking a dump in your pants and leaving it there for a whole day or 2 days or 3 days. Not going to feel
2 or
good.
5, depending on how
Hey.
neglectful they are.
Don't tell me what to do with my pants.
No, and here's the thing. I went through with my daughter a stage of having rash, and I fell under the spectrum of just sensitive. She was very sensitive to the particular brand of diapers that were out there. I had to search for that, the specialty kind of brand shit. And, shit like that happens. But I mean, what you're talking about, like I've seen what rash looks like, and anyone who's a parent, you've had from time to time when shit happens, and your kid gets a rash, and it is horrible for them. They're screaming, they're crying. You put that like ointment stuff on, and they're still in amount of pain because babies are more sensitive. And it's like now, just picture someone willingly and willfully intentionally putting their kid through that because they don't have their fucking consent. Are you kidding me? Like, come on, people. People, oh my God, people can't be that fucking stupid. They can't. It just, oh my God.
Well,
Apparently,
they can be.
apparently they are, because we're having to
They really are.
through this notion that you should have to get a child who can't consent to keep them from dying. I don't understand. This is not a sane world anymore. I don't know what happened to people. I don't know what happened. But somewhere along the way, someone with a loose screw got in charge of stuff. And then that person started talking to some other people who had some loose screws. And then a whole bunch of people with loose screws came out of the woodwork because they didn't have the screws to keep them into the woodwork. And now we're here and we're being run around by psychos telling us not to change our children's diapers because that's abuse. I want to go home and this can't be right. I'm moving to Mars.
I'm
Yeah,
right
we
there
are
with you,
in the
Mary. I'm
Twilight
right there
Zone.
with you.
I'm gonna steal something from Stig for a second and say, Mary, that's pretty screwed up. Thank you. I try.
I can't give a dry or snow left golf clap to encompass how horrible that pun was. Thank you so much for that.
I've never claimed to be a master of puns.
No,
You're not a master of
No,
anything.
you're clearly not.
I'm a master of world domination, PB.
You can't even tag people on Twitter properly.
Hey. I am not one of these like youngins who know the Twitter and the tags. Okay? Learning this shit as I go.
Kneel before me, millennials.
So hold on. It cracks me up so bad. So 19K Fox said, so does this make CPR rape? To which Mark F responded, only if she lives.
Oh my God. That's great.
Well. My question to that is: at what point does it become necrophilia?
Only when the smell sets in.
Oh, okay.
No,
All
it's. I thought it was when they drop below 90 degrees.
Okay, that's a close second.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
You brought it up, just saying.
Generation Productions has a couple of questions. He says, improper is not in accordance with accepted standards, especially if of morality. LOL. I was doing a play on. Okay. All right. Okay, I got it. All right. Fair enough. A proper Jeremy on another topic. Dots. The thoughts of the Emperor and Luke battling as Force Ghosts and the idea of the ultimate Death Star. I was doing a plan. Okay. All right. Okay, I got it. All right. That was terrifying for a second.
Yeah, I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Oh yeah,
you were waiting here with bated breath,
is
he dead?
Especially considering you said Death Star and then you disappeared.
Right?
He was assassinated. Oh my God, they found him.
It was a test fire.
I'm here. I'm alive. It's okay.
Jeremy, are you on Alderaan? Do we need to worry?
Is
there someone we can call in case you do disappear?
Maybe you can call Mary.
Someone's on Twitter tomorrow. Has anyone seen Proper Jeremy? It's my brother. I can't find him anywhere.
It's your brother. Your brother's more concerned about
I was
me
speaking
than
as your
mine?
hypothetical brother.
I don't have a hypothetical brother. I have a real brother.
Exactly.
And he doesn't sound anything like that.
Oh well.
You bastard.
He's not here to defend himself. What do I care?
Fair enough. Fair enough. He's not here. He probably hasn't watched this video. He's explained explicitly, I'm subscribed and I don't watch your videos.
It's okay.
Instead, he watches PewDiePie since 2012.
God, children these days.
No, my brother, I think you would like him a lot. You would get along. But anyways, back to what Generation Productions was saying is that another topic, the thoughts of the Emperor and Luke battling as Force Ghosts and the idea of the ultimate Death Star showing up in Rise of Skywalker. I don't know what the ultimate Death Star is. If somebody else does, please let me know. I don't know what it is. There's already been the Death Star, the second Death Star, the Death Planet. I mean, what is next? Like these people don't. I mean, they just make it up as they go. I guess I don't know. But,
well, it just sounds ridiculous to me. I haven't heard about the new Death Star, but it doesn't surprise me. Well, I mean, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. It's like it's going to be the Death Galaxy soon. It's going to be that big.
The entire galaxy is full of death. The Death Galaxy. Pretty much.
And
the Death Universe.
Heaven forbid anyone write an original part of the story. Heaven forbid.
At this point, I'd find that more interesting than any of the bullshit they've put out.
Yeah, probably. But this is probably, I'm guessing it's somewhat of a prediction. But I want to focus more on the thoughts of the Emperor and Luke Skywalker battling as Force Ghosts. As Force Ghosts.
I'm sorry, are we supposed to say something? Because the idea is just so stupid, it's taking a minute to sink in.
Sounds like bullshit.
That too.
This way.
It sounds like subverting expectations.
Do you even think that would even be remotely cool? I don't know.
Subverting expectations by bringing back a character that's been dead for how many years now?
No, subverting expectations that this is going to be fucking good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was never an expectation to subvert in the first place.
Touche. You've one up me, Scar, but I'm still
I do what I can.
Villain.
His name is Kester. Thank you very much.
I might change my name now.
Celebrity Jeremy says, I got a jet. Good stream. Thank you so much. What were you saying, Kester? Never mind. The Emperor didn't want you to talk about his plans, says General Productions. And Timon says, it's no longer Star Wars. It's Death Star Wars. Yeah, pretty much. And Stieg says, Force Ghost Battle won't make any sense. They don't have ghost lightsabers. The lightsabers drop when they die. They don't take them with them when they die. Yeah, and that makes, perfect sense.
There is a logical reason I can think of for Disney doing this, and that is because they can't make the other characters interesting whatsoever, so they're clutching at straws to try and make it interesting in this way.
And it's sad because Finn could have been. Sorry, were you saying something, Mary?
What?
Okay, never mind. Okay, never mind. I thought I saw your icon flickering like you were starting to say something. So never mind.
A little bit.
Okay. Oh, I was just gonna say it's a shame because the sequel trilogy characters are just so boring, and they didn't have to be. I've mentioned this in other streams, but like Finn, just his backstory of being a former stormtrooper had so much potential for some really interesting character stuff, and they completely they sanitized his entire potential with Oh, he was just a janitor. Oh, he's also never been in a fight except for that thing at the beginning of Force Awakens, so he doesn't have any, like, guilt complexion or anything like that over murdering people under orders or any of that other, really interesting possible, like, pseudo-redemption stuff that we apparently like in Star Wars, but we're actually not going to give you any of that. Instead, we're going to give you emo goth Darth Vader over here, wannabe, and then we're going to, like, kind of play up him as being the redeemable one, even though he's an evil little piece of shit who killed his dad and then basically spat in the face of a complete stranger trying to help him. And he also used the "you're nothing to everyone but me" textbook abuse bullshit. But yeah, this is the guy we're totally gonna push as the redeemable character in this trilogy. I'm sorry, did I go off on a tangent here and just completely shit on everything about these sequel trilogy characters? My bad.
Justifiably so. But that leads me to something that I've been pondering for a while. But before I do that, I will read a couple more chats that added me. By the way, if you do have a question, just say just type proper Jeremy in the chat, and I will respond, or I'll do it as best as I can. Michael Brent says, not Netflix should buy the rights to Gargoyle, Tron, and The Incredibles, because I think Netflix can make a better series than Disney could ever.
No. Netflix is going woke. Watch some of their new stuff. It's getting pretty bad over there. They have destroyed several of the shows that I like. Any show you watch, you can start seeing these things start to happen. They've destroyed a lot of shows that I used to watch over there and canceled other ones that I like. So I'm starting to lose faith in Netflix and their ability to do anything with properties anymore.
Hell,
So
even
you're
Stranger
probably
Things.
going to cancel your subscription, what, sometime
God
next
damn it,
year?
TV. You're trolling me here. I already told you I'm only keeping it because my mom shares my account and I'm a good son. And if I fucking cancel it, I'm never gonna hear the end of it. She call me up and be like, "Why'd you cancel?"
All right,
Netflix?"
nobody cares about your mom's account.
I might care about his mom's account.
Okay, fair enough. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking, of course.
On the subject of Netflix going downhill, I'll state it here for the first time because I don't think I've actually mentioned it anywhere else. Stranger Things 3 was very underwhelming.
Thank you.
I'm doing something with that.
So am I.
No, I'm actually I'm making videos about that. So I'm doing it episode by episode. I haven't seen the whole thing, but
I was just thinking of making a video talking about one specific thing, so you might not want to watch it.
okay.
Proper, just skip to the last 2 episodes, and
you'll save yourself so much part.
Yeah, the last 2 episodes will make you feel like you're watching Stranger Things. The first, what is it? Because it's only 8 episodes.
Yeah, 8 or 9 episodes. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
it's just like season 1 again, right?
No, season 1 was great.
Season 1 was solid. Season 2 had the problem where they had too many people doing things and it didn't quite line up very well at the end. Season 3, I would say the plot lines converge well enough, not quite as good as season 1, but better than season 2's did. And there's no random episode where frickin' 11 goes off to join up with the frickin' Lost Boys or whatever and have a little mini adventure that ultimately means nothing. So,
well, from what I heard, that is supposed to come back around, but
yeah.
And Mary, if you need to go, feel free to do so, and go ahead and plug your channel.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Sorry, I wasn't ready to speak. Hi guys, I'm Mary B. You may know me as Mary Mayhem. I have my own little channel. And yeah, I do stuff over there, but I'm too sick to think of what that is right now.
You bring the mayhem.
Yeah, right now I'm bringing the sniffles, but good thing about the internet is I can't get you sick despite what Proper says. He blames me.
I feel very sickly just thinking about that.
Proper, that's just your usual state of being, okay?
Oh, frail. Thank you.
I do what I can.
Yeah, I'm glad to have been here. Thanks for having me on proper. I'm gonna go lay down and furiously text from the phone.
Hey, she got to rant about them damn kids. I'd say it was a good day all around.
Children are a blessing
Absolutely.
from God, Kester. Children,
Until they grow up and become teenagers and learn how to argue.
I have
Or they
to.
become like you.
I have teenagers. They're so bad. Like if you raise them right, just beat them a lot when they're little. It was a joke.
Okay then.
All right.
And don't
No,
change any
Seriously, why is it
diapers.
we can make? Why is it that we can make a CPR rape joke in the chat and everyone laugh, but I can't joke about beating your children? Whatever. I suck.
Double standards, damn it.
Right?
double standards because children are precious. They should never be
They're the
disciplined because that
future.
would hurt their feelings.
Sarcasm is sarcastic. All right. Love you guys. Good night, everybody.
Night,
Thank
Mary.
you.
Bye.
Hi, Mary. Feel free to plug your channel. Oh, she's gone.
The
Terrible
only thing
times
she's
No,
looking to
as
plug, I
usual.
think, is her nose at this point.
Pretty much.
Fair enough. You know, we all love Mary Mayhem here. Thank you, Mary, for popping by. That was amazing.
The loss of her
Mary,
voice is a grave injustice.
I'm trying to get back. There was a couple other ones that I wanted to read. This version says Proper Jeremy Generation Production says Proper Jeremy, since they don't have ghost lightsabers, then they would just use force powers. No lightsabers for a lightsaber fight. Yeah, absolutely.
That still sounds stupid.
Yeah, why kill them off in the first place if you're just going to have them fight as Force Ghosts? Just let them
Right.
stay alive and fight with lightsabers. I mean, shit.
Exactly. It doesn't. Fuck you, Ryan.
The new Star
but
Wars
speaking
is
of-
going to suck.
Speaking of a good Ryan, Ryan Kennel, RK Outpost says, "Are the rumors of you being at the Vegas meetup true?" Yes, they are. I will be in Las Vegas at the Millennium Fandom Bar at 8 p.m. Good luck. And if you want to kill me, just do it quickly. Please. Just do it quickly. That's all I ask. And Mega Jitty One says, Mary Mayhem got a bounce now. Okay. All right, Mega Jetty.
They're bailing left, right, and center.
No, don't say that. Michael Brent said, do you remember DreamWorks' Rise of the Guardians or Monsters vs. Aliens?
I actually liked Rise of the Guardians. That was actually a decent movie. Don't you shit on my Guardians.
Monsters vs. Aliens? I knew Seth
That one was
Rogen was
crap.
in it.
Rise of the Guardians was decent. I'm not going to say it was stellar or anything groundbreaking, but it was a decent enough movie for what it was.
I don't think I know either of these movies.
Yeah, I vaguely remember Monsters vs. Aliens.
You would remember Rise of the Guardians if you okay. Santa
Rise
Claus,
of the Guardians, wasn't that with the owls?
Jack Frost, Santa Claus, Easter Bunny played by Hugh Jackman, Sandman that didn't talk, and what was it? God, I can't remember the villain now. The Nightmare something or other dude, Boogeyman or something, I believe it was. He was voiced by Jude Law.
Ooh, that's a hell of a cast.
No, it's actually really good. Like, what was it? Santa Claus is voiced by oh my god, I can't remember names now.
Tim Allen.
No, not Tim Allen. That's the original. That's the Disney Santa Claus. You weirdo.
Oh wait, Mickey Rooney.
No, it was one of the bald ones.
Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, I want to say it was Alec Baldwin. Hang on, I'm looking it up. Let's see. Chris Pine voiced Jack Frost. Hugh Jackman was the Easter Bunny. Isla Fisher was the Tooth Fairy. I don't know who she is off the top of my head.
She's Sokka
Wedding
Barnes'
Crashers.
wife.
She's from
and,
Wedding
also-
Crashers, yeah.
Yeah,
The
she was
guy
also
who's
in,
trying to sleep with Vince Vaughn the whole time.
Yep,
Mhm.
Alec Baldwin voices what they call North. It's basically Santa Claus. And then Jude Law was Pitch Black, but they called him like the Boogeyman, I believe, in the movie or something.
Imagine if they cast a black guy in that role, how the outrage would be.
Ooh, it would have been delicious.
Pitch Black. Morgan Freeman as Pitch Black. Like what? How?
I'm imagining Sam Jackson. Pitch, please.
Pitch, please. Pitch Black. Pitch, please. That's good. That's a good one. Nicole Mellett says this time it will destroy entire galaxies. Be so big. It will destroy entire galaxies. Be so big. It will not. It'll be so big. It won't fit the screen. Episode 9. Oh my goodness. Well, why would you shoot a sequence where it doesn't fit in the screen? That would be horrible.
They can't help it because it's just getting bigger and bigger. It's like the Death Star's taking 2 bottles of Viagra. Can't get it down.
Probably. Couldn't imagine. But there was something that I wanted to ask about earlier. There was a chat that inspired
As long
me
as it's not anime.
No, it's not anime. No.
Why can't it be anime?
Yes, because anime is awesome.
Because then I can't troll perp.
He's like, I'm out of my element. I need my element.
That's right.
My hero for life.
All right. I don't quite remember what I was going to ask. I'm trying to think about it, but you know what?
Oh boy, Jeremy's going senile again.
No, but I have another question, though. What do you think about the time travel of rumor?
Oh, no, I'm not. If you're talking
Jeremy?
about
the time travel rumor.
in Endgame, I'm not going to that place again.
No, he's talking about it in Star Wars.
Star Wars, you putz.
Well, see,
Villain.
you got my feelings because I automatically, when I think of time travel, I think of Endgame.
You're a DC villain.
Yeah, but that was that.
Why are you thinking about Marvel?
Yeah,
because I want to destroy every franchise equally. And
maybe start with your own.
Well, they're already on the track of doing that, but they're just on the track of redemption. But I'm sure Zod...
recollect your thoughts, Zod, and talk about time travel in Star Wars.
Yes, and how Kevin Smith said, "Oh my goodness, it's gonna melt your mind because J.J. Abrams said so."
Wrong.
This is the thing. J.J. Abrams is. I don't think he's a bad director. I do think that he starts shit and then leaves it to other people. I do believe that with Force Awakens, there were a lot of things from, let's say New Hope, perhaps. But I think that if you were looking at what that movie was trying to do as opposed to the fuckfest that was The Last Jedi, I think Abrams maybe would have pulled it off a little bit more successfully before Ruin Johnson came along. But that aside, I don't think they can do anything, not a thing, to fix how much the franchise is fucked. If they want to fix it, I already got the easy fix. You introduce a new hired gun, and you don't see him most of the movie, and then big reveal, it's John Wick. You've saved the whole Star Wars franchise.
Fucking John Wick, Jesus Christ.
It reminds
John Wick saved Star Wars. Imagine how big those highlights.
That reminds me of the meme back in the day where they wanted Blade to show up in the last Twilight movie and just kill everyone.
That would have saved Twilight.
Yeah.
Nope. Willie Mays Hayes has been fired once again.
No, I think you got that wrong. The big reveal, the big climax at the end is going to be that Princess Leia can now travel at hyperspeed with her Mary Poppins, and she's going to save the day.
Oh my God! Did any of you see the video someone edited together that basically takes Leia's little space flight and turns it into her doing the hyperspace kamikaze into the First Order fleet from the Last Jedi?
There's only one woman out there that has butthole hyperdrive, and that's Captain Marvel.
Fucking Brie Larson.
Oh God! Not
Who does her
this
own stunts?
again.
Thank you very much. Not.
Thank
Exactly.
you very much.
I mean, I
Don't get me
assume,
started on that.
she does her own stunts, so I assume they dropped her from thousands of feet in the air to the ground, and then she went Super Saiyan and flew away.
Right.
No, she does her own stunts so well that she gets a fucking award at that stupid fucking MTV bullshit that they do. And what does she do? She brings up her two fucking stunt people. Does no one see the contradiction in her fucking statements? For fucking months, I heard this dumb bitch go, "Oh, I do my own stunts. Oh, Tom Cruise, don't compare me to Tom Cruise." And then, fucking short few months later, she's like, "Oh, I'm so glad to get this MTV award," which, by the way, doesn't mean shit. And goes, "Oh, and I like to thank my fucking stunt doubles." What the fuck? My God, this bitch just ruins my whole fucking world. Oh, I hate her. I
And
hate
you
her
are
so much.
welcome.
Oh, God damn it, PB. You brought me to that dark place. I'm sorry. I apologize, Proper.
All right.
Back
Just
to
I
a
had to get that
up
out.
and we'll be fine.
time travel, Star Wars. If they go back in
Anyways,
time, that means they can get rid of both episodes 7 and 8.
and
If
you know
only.
what that also does? It could also get rid of the entire Star Wars franchise.
Are you talking like
Fuck
complete
off.
tabula rasa, clean slate here?
Yeah,
That's
it could
a
all
bit
be
drastic.
done. Once you talk about time travel, if you say that they would use it to get rid of 7 and 8, it could also be used to get rid of 1 through 6.
That would
Yeah, for
be
sure.
that's the nuclear option, and that's going to be suicide on their part, because if they essentially decanonize everything up to this point, oh my God, you think the reaction of The Last Jedi was bad enough? That shit will be its own Armageddon. There is no way in hell even the most diehard defenders of this sequel bullshit would be up for that little bit of crap. There is just no way.
Hey,
They
Do you know
will
what the
actively
film is?
underestimate the
The
shells.
sequel defenders, I've only met a few that are actually rational. Most of them don't have fucking common sense, so I don't even think they would care.
Well,
See, I told you,
it's a
Perp's in the
fucking
chat. He's like, yeah, kill it all. What a dick.
I have some personal experience with people who do like some of the newer films, and they're perfectly fine. But, you know, even they would be like, you just got rid of the entire Star Wars franchise in this last film.
You know why I don't think they'll do it?
Yeah.
Because that would mean eliminating Princess Leia too. And they bank on her as an icon way too goddamn much in these movies for them to suddenly just basically give the audience
Whoa,
the finger.
it's not Princess
anything.
Leia, it's General.
Yeah, fuck that General Leia shit. She's Princess Leia. I do not care about the new
I
titles
agree
in
with
this
you.
movies. Do not care whatsoever.
Yeah, I don't
Oh,
either. And to be honest, you know, I still call her Princess Leia because she's our
Yeah.
princess, and that is that. You know, and those are my feelings on that. And
Yeah.
you know, people are bound to disagree. But
Well, I mean,
they're
technically, even in the original trilogy, she was senator.
yep, exactly.
So
like
you can
her
go
mother.
Senator Leia Organa
Mm-hmm.
and still be cool, but this fucking general bullshit, don't buy
Well,
it.
there is one way that the time travel can work, and that is if they go back and they just completely eliminate Solo, but once and for all.
Other
Not the
fucking
character,
perp.
the movie.
General Production says the Emperor didn't want you to talk about his plans.
Fucking perp saying that
Flips-
Princess Leia did nothing. Who does he think was handing out the medals at the end of the first movie?
Indeed.
She
Timon
was the
Flip
one who
says
said the most
it's not longer Star Wars. It's Death Star Wars. Yeah, it's Death to Star Wars to a lot of people, and I can't.
Dude, you are saying that wrong.
entirely-
You're supposed to say Death Star as one thing and then
Death
add
Star.
wars.
Death Stars
It-
Wars. Death Star Wars.
Yeah, I will say this because I have to head out here in a few minutes, so I think I'm just gonna quickly say my bit and take off here. I will say this about sequel trilogy Defenders. I saw a video. I watched a YouTube video a few months back. The first one I had watched in the more than like year and a half that I had been watching all these videos, you know, talking all kinds of good about The Last Jedi. The one video I watched on it basically captured the core argument perfectly. And it was that the ideas of The Last Jedi are what a lot of the people who defend it so adamantly are defending it because of. They're defending it for the ideas that it had and ignoring how well those ideas were executed. So, in that context, I can see why people defend the movie. I can understand it a bit more, but I still don't give it a pass because it still ignores the execution of those ideas. So,
I absolutely agree with that, and I clearly see that you most definitely had seen the Vanity Fair thing with that guy who there was an interview on YouTube with the guy who wrote the Vanity Fair article about the Rise of Skywalker.
I did not see that now.
Oh yeah, and how he defended it, and it's exactly what you're talking about. And Stevie, if you could mute, that'd be great, temporarily. But at any rate, it's fine. But I totally get what you're saying, and it makes sense in the context of how it has been executed, and also in just because you tried to do something doesn't mean you succeeded.
Yeah, basically. I mean,
Yeah.
it's one of those things where, and interestingly enough, it kind of feeds into this whole general idea that a lot of creators have gotten in their minds lately, is that because I made the thing, I should get the praise and the accolades, regardless of the actual quality of the thing that I made.
Yeah, exactly. And George Lucas never did that.
Yeah, I mean, it's this. I really can't think of a better word for it at the moment, but it's an entitlement mentality. It's this idea that I put an idea out there. I'm really brave for doing that because now I've opened myself up to all these people who might not like it. So I should get awards and praise, and I shouldn't have to deal with all these people who are pointing out all the ways that I did it wrong, and I shouldn't have to deal with criticism. And it's this mindset that baffles me as someone who has worked on his own writing for so long, and I am basically OCD about my writing to the point where I have to work on it and work on it and work on it to an exhaustive point because I want it to be the best it can possibly be. And I honestly need to dial back on my obsession with making it as good as I want it to be in my mind. But it's so essential to be able to understand, accept, digest, and ultimately apply criticism that you get from people against your work, regardless of the way they phrase it. You're going to have some people who are going to come in that are going to be blunt. They're going to just throw it out there like, oh, this was crap. Why did you write it like this? That's when you have to actually start asking the question of, well, why was it crap? Why did you not like it? If you can't get a more specific answer, then fine. That criticism is a waste of your time. But if you can actually get people to narrow down why they didn't like something about a certain thing you did a certain way, then you can actually examine it and be like, okay, maybe there's something to this, or okay, this person just didn't like what I did because of personal taste. All right, disregarded accordingly. But
I think you brought up. Sorry, keep going.
I was just going to say in closing, it's just creators these days need to learn to accept criticism regardless of where it's coming from, on the basis that there might actually be a point to it. If there's not a point to it when you dig into it, then fine, disregard it, whatever. But don't dismiss any and all forms of criticism out of hand merely because it's got a tone that you might not agree with or that you may find a bit distasteful. That's not in of itself a good enough reason to just toss it aside and pretend like it doesn't exist.
And
Oh.
the one final question that I have to ask, and then we're going to close it up, is out of the 14,605 possibilities for The Rise of Skywalker, what's the one outcome where it'll be good?
The Last Jedi is retconned out of existence. And that's just to make it passably
Yeah,
good.
they gotta.
That's
I
not
think.
even like great. That's just passably good.
I think they
I'm
gotta
just
go
no,
back
I'm
all the
saying like
way to episode 7 and retcon from the point where she allegedly downloaded her powers.
all right. Well, aside from the retconning, is there any no possibility at all that it
I
can
don't.
be better or
How do you
rectified?
how do you wrap up a clusterfuck?
With a shit sandwich.
I don't think.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I don't think it can be fixed. There's just no way that can be fixed with all the destruction of the characters in Last Jedi and the story. That it can't, especially in one movie, it can't be fixed.
I mean,
I just don't see it. I don't see how it can be done.
you can look at even their original characters. Forget the legacy characters. They destroy their own characters in The
Yeah,
Last
exactly.
Jedi.
Yeah.
Yep.
No,
And I mean, you're not just talking, and I'm sure everyone on the panel can agree, you're not just talking about fixing faulty characters throughout the film. Okay, just taking away the bullshit characters and the gross out of character moments. You're talking about them actually destroying things in the world, aspects of lore, like the whole thing with the fucking the ships warping through star destroyers and shit like that. I mean, it was not just a problem with the characters and you can say, oh, we can tool up this character in the next one, or we could do this. They fundamentally blew up the universe. Ryan Johnson fucked the story on every possible level that he could fuck the story. You're talking about worlds, you're talking about things that were already established in films. You're talking about the way that certain things function. I mean, he fucked the films on multiple levels. I mean, there's a point where you can go, okay, I can go through this script and I can fix this, this, and this, and this person said this, I can fix it with this or whatever else. But how the fuck do you fix things that were destroyed within the world? Blowing up mythology. You have to almost rebuild or pretend like the other one doesn't exist.
which I think that's what they're going to do, is they're just going to pretend like the hyperspace kamikaze and the force ghost summoning lightning things. I would honestly be shocked and amazed if they even acknowledged those things existing or being a thing in episode 9, because they present such a massive consistency issue that they would have to address going forward, that they won't bother doing it because they've shown just how lazy they are with the sequel trilogy.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned laziness, because I was going to bring that up before. Because when Kester was talking about his writing and how pedantic he is about getting it right, I think
Pedantic.
well, I think that's part of
say.
the problem with Hollywood at the moment, is that okay, so you go back to when you had some really good scripts, some really good stories that were created, and there was pressure on story writers, film creators to make that happen and put the work in to get that right and get it done, and it had to be good, because otherwise it wouldn't be critically accepted, and at the end of the day, money drives everything, it wouldn't sell. But these days they can put out crap, be lazy with it, and it's still making money. So until it stops making money, some of these things, they're still going to continue with the lazy writing and the lazy storytelling because it's making them money.
Well, and that's where I take some comfort in seeing that Solo bombed so badly to the point where they canceled all of the anthology films, even though they had I think they'd already gotten a writer for the Boba Fett film, the guy who wrote Logan, if I remember correctly. Mm-hmm. So the fact that happened and it had such a massive ripple effect as far as the rest of the franchise goes, I'm hopeful that if 9 underperforms, especially compared to The Last Jedi, to say nothing of Force Awakens. And now you can actually look at, like, say, Infinity War and Endgame, and you can see the upward, at the very least, a consistent rate of box office success, if not a slight uptick in success from one film to the next. Then they're going to look at that and go, why isn't Star Wars doing the same thing? And then that's going to start getting some interesting questions asked, because why is this decades-old established franchise going down in terms of box office numbers and not instead at least maintaining a somewhat flat rate like our other franchises that are like a decade old and like 20-something movies in have managed to achieve?
Yeah, exactly. And why? And I feel like, you know, to some degree, they would just be like, all right, what are we going to do for this one? Rian Johnson screwed the pooch. How do we fix this? And our solution is, well, what do we do? I don't know. Ben Solo steals the Infinity Gauntlet and says, Rey says she's inevitable. And he says, and I am Ben Solo. Boom. And Rey is snapped out of existence. The
Watching
Emperor
her turn to
won.
dust would be cathartic.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's just like, don't try to replicate success based on other franchises. Just do your own thing. You're Star Wars. You are Star Wars. You have all of the source material that you could pull from if you really wanted to do that. Not to mention the fact that you have people who have made amazing films on their own. You have everything that you could possibly want or need, and you still manage to fuck it all up. How do you do that? I mean, it's a win-win. Financially, you're going to make money either way if it's an episodic film, but you're not going to have episodic films anymore, are you? No, you're going to have Rian Johnson direct Benioff and Weiss and their shitty films, and the reason why Game of Thrones was shit for the last season. And you're going to expect those films to succeed? I
mean,
Well,
just
maybe-
the lack of anticipation alone in the wake of Game of Thrones failing as badly as it did. Like, before that, I'm sure they were looking at the Benioff and Weiss trilogy and seeing dollar signs dancing in their eyes. But now it's, oh, no, now all of a sudden Game of Thrones Season 8's kind of gotten panned by everybody. And now all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, maybe not.
Yeah,
Well,
what are you going to do? Fire them too? Like,
We
what's going on?
we might see a dragon in Star Wars, though.
We may see a dragon.
Great. Space dragons is just what we need. You know, my space fantasy used to be fairly simple. My space fantasy with wizards that could move things with their mind and had laser swords used to be easy to follow, and now it's just become such a damn mess.
I mean, they already got those space whales or squids or whatever the fuck they are.
Oh, the one from... oh, God, that's right. I forgot all about that.
Yeah, the ones that killed Thrawn.
Oh, I try to repress all this new crap as much as I can.
Well, anyway,
I will say this in regards to the question you asked, though, proper. You were asking about, you know, can it succeed? Can episode 9 actually be good? I believe I mentioned this on a Senate stream here recently. The last one we did, I think you were there. I can't remember for sure, but
I don't think so.
Okay, maybe you weren't. Maybe that was just the one with me, Sith, and the rest. But I'm pretty sure I mentioned it there, and it was the thing of episode 9 has too much going on in order for it to succeed. It's wrapping up a trilogy that has been botched, to say the least. And it's also trying to wrap up the entire Skywalker saga. It's introducing 2 completely new characters. It's bringing back the Knights of Ren. It's bringing in Lando out of nowhere. It's bringing back Palpatine. You're going to apparently see Kylo Ren's helmet being fixed, Luke's lightsabers fixed, and all this other stuff. It's got too much going on in terms of just the plot and the characters and everything actually involved in the movie itself. It's too big to succeed, quite frankly. I
They're
don't
not
see
bringing
how
all the new characters.
They're
Yeah,
not bringing Lando out of nowhere. They're bringing him out of an alien robot sex club.
probably it would not shock me in the least at this point. But
Yeah.
but
Well,
the
That's
point
why
being
he's
is that
so
there's
happy in the trailer.
yeah, he's just gotten done with that third orgy. Anyway,
And
but
with
Yeah.
that being said, I think we're about to wrap it up here, and we'll start with.
Yeah, you
we'll
got to
start
wrap
with-
it up before you go in the droids.
Oh,
you,
yeah.
Stevie, what were you saying?
Oh no, I
Oh
was
yeah,
just
you
gonna
were about
say
to say something before we.
it's nothing meaningful, but I'll say it anyway. I was just gonna say that Lando was so happy because he had a toaster in his lap in that scene.
You.
That was very meaningful, Stevie.
that was incredibly profound. That was-
Speaking of closing remarks, do you have anything else to say about this topic or anything that we were talking about before we go?
No. I choose to believe that.
No,
so.
I asked Stevie.
Jesus.
No,
Oh,
I guess
I'm sorry. I'm a villain.
yes. Okay, I will say something. To me, I agree with Kester. There's far too much to try and fit into one movie to wrap all of this up. It cannot be done. And even if they were to try and put it into two, I still think with the amount of either retconning or recreation they would have to do to make it succeed would be too much. So I don't think it will succeed. And I think that overall, it comes down to a lot of laziness. That's what I'll say.
Yep.
Indeed. And Generation Production says, okay, Proper Jeremy, possibility of Rise of Skywalker being a successful movie is approximately 3,720 to 1.
A fitting odd.
A very fitting odd. Speaking of fitting odds, do you want to plug anything, Kester?
Your segues, I mean, you and Sith both really need to work on that shit. I'm just saying.
Hey, they're better than General Zod's.
You can't see it right now,
Sound
but
like a
I'm
high
flipping
bar to
you off,
clear.
TV. You
That
son of a
doesn't sound
bitch.
like a high bar to clear whatsoever.
It's not.
I mean, I can't really plug anything in terms of YouTube, but I mean, follow me on Twitter, I guess. I don't know. I don't really have a link up or anything for it, but just I don't know, just as my Twitter link in the description or something like that, Jeremy.
Yes, it is.
All right,
At,
perfect.
the real Kester. I don't know how you.
The Orchester. It's the real Orchester.
Okay, follow him on Twitter.
Someone already had the real Kester, and I'm just like, God damn it, people! Like, who the hell has this? I go up, it's like got 20 followers, I think, like no activity in a while. I'm like, God damn it!
Aw.
I didn't even know you could change it, but
you can.
The more you know, the better. At any rate, at least I got it right the first time. At any rate, Pop Culture PB, tell the people what you got going on.
Shit. What do I have going on? Well, I'm gonna probably be in the fandom zone later with General Zod, and I'm always working on new High Council highlights. Don't know what the next individual thing is that's gonna trip my trigger that makes me post an individual video on my channel, which is Pop Culture PB. Stop by, check me out. I bet you'll have a laugh.
Or two, depending on your tone of voice.
I mean, maybe 3. You never fucking know with these people. Some of them are wacky.
And of course, General Zod.
Did Stevie already go? Because I got the longest one on the panel here.
Yeah.
Oh, now you're going to do the long form.
No, just do it. Just do it.
Right? Jeez, humble brag.
Yeah, longest one on the panel, my ass.
Yeah.
Never discount girth.
Not to further elongate it, but
11
go
inches
on.
around.
It's like a cheese wheel.
In honor.
It's coming from the cheesehead himself. From Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Anyway, Aussie, continue.
No, not the Aussie. It's General Zod. The Aussie already went.
He did?
Yeah.
I finished my point about shit wars. I didn't.
Yeah, he didn't actually close
he
out
didn't plug
anything
his
yet, Jeremy.
channel.
Oh my goodness, that's correct. Improper of me.
That's all right, mate. That's all right. I can
The
plug myself
oppression is
anytime.
real.
So
Fuck.
Zod can go, and then Stevie J, you can have as much time. You know what, Zod, you have the longest one. Stevie, take your time. Go before Zod. Don't kneel before him. That would be improper.
I was just going to say that. I am not kneeling. Yeah, thanks, Proper. Stevie J Reviews is the channel. Head over and check it out. Got some movie reviews there, a couple of live streams, trailer reactions, that sort of stuff. And I too will be joining Pop Culture PB and General Zod over in the Fandom Zone shortly. So yeah, that's what I'm up to. Check it out if you like. Thanks.
Absolutely, and hopefully Kester and I will be invited as well. And Zod, go on.
Okay, first off, Kester, you've got to follow me on Twitter so that way I can send you the DM. And
no promises from him,
Dude,
but I'm not speaking for him, but
No one
in the
speaks
group
for
where the link
Scar.
was sent.
And in honor of being on Proper's channel and this being the last Proper Hangout stream, I will do the long plug for this one.
Yeah, he only asked for it 2 hours and 15 minutes ago.
I do what I
that's
want.
actually true.
Hey, it is the most earth-breaking, ground-shaking, but never media shells money-taking, the man, the myth, the legend, the most electrifying YouTuber in YouTube entertainment today, General Zod. And I will be hosting the Fandom Zone after this lovely stream. I've got some awesome things. I did my review on Hobbs and Shaw. Go check that out. Why are you laughing, you son of a bitch?
What's so funny about that?
Because he's thinking back to the Eastern Pacific time. That's why.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You
Did he say Eastern Pacific?
I also get berated by these fine folks. Also, if you're not subbed to my channel, if I get to 300 subs, I will live on my channel break a board with my head, which will be
And there's only
hilarious.
he's only 5 subs away.
Which would be different from an ordinary Saturday night. How exactly? Or
I'm gonna
This
give.
one's made of wood and not flesh.
I'm gonna give everybody. Oh, right.
touche.
So here is General Zod's Fandom Zone. Get 3 people, 3 of you who are not subbed to General Zod, to subscribe. And tonight he will. Is it tonight?
I don't know if he can do it tonight. He said that he was going to have a unicorn painted on it.
All right, but
Well, I just subscribed, so 1 out of 3 down.
Ba-boom.
All right,
Start getting that board ready.
Motherfucker.
298, and he's going to break a board with his head. So all we need
Stone Cold
is
subbed.
all we need is 2 more people, and
Woohoo.
we can do that. And that would be extraordinarily exciting. If we can do that, then definitely. Let me just check real quick. All right, 301. I guess you're breaking a.
Oh,
Hey!
damn! This just got better. Oh yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Very fitting indeed. Stone Cold Jeremy just said they subbed. Larry said they subbed. Nicole said added a bunny to sod. I don't know what that means, but okay. I'm seeing 301. Well, it's going to be 302. There we go. All right. Awesome. So thank you, everybody, for coming out today. It was so awesome, and for coming from Stream. I really greatly appreciate it. And thank you to my lovely panelists, General Zod, Pop Culture PB. We've had Kester.
Unfortunately.
The sadness of everyone. And of course, our token Australian, Stevie J Reviews.
Who was not nearly as silent as he should have been.
Nope.
Crikey.
Indeed. So Zod, PB, you have Kester, Stevie J Reviews, and I am Proper Jeremy.